Hey, my name is Chad. Welcome to this video where we are going to talk about my last match for my local group's 23-24 PRS season. So you can probably tell I'm a little energetic because I did pretty well decent. We'll kind of go over the broad views right now. I ended up overall 5th out of 11. We'll talk about that. I think I could have finished 4th for sure. 3rd would have been pushing it. The guys that were not at the match that I finished 3rd, that one time they were there. So, that put me down a little ways just because they're considerably better and more experienced than I am. But overall, 5th place out of the 11. And in the grand scheme of things, there was a maximum score of 79, and my score was 43. And I actually took 65 shots. So out of the total score, I scored 55% of what the maximum score could have been. And with my hit rate, so of the 65 shots I took, 43 of them were impacts. That gives me a 66% hit rate. Okay, and you can probably see here that I did get the trigger cam set up. And I don't know if I got the first stage. I think I might have pushed the buttons in the wrong order and did not actually record it. But I started in the half that began down doing the prone stages. So first up was a spinner, and once again I still wasn't able to make it spin. So I got my 6 points on it. I was getting good hits on it. My timing was off as usual, and I didn't get it to rotate so I could go to the last target and score the last points. So I got 8 hits on it, but only 6 count for score. So that one was a spinner at 350, and then if you got it to spin, you could go to the 600-yard target and collect the remaining points. Okay, then the next one was called the long and short of it, and that one you had a large target at 400 yards, and then we had our 1,050-yard target. So hit or miss, you shoot the 400, then you move out, shoot the 1050. Then you come back, shoot the 400, then go back out, shoot the 1050. So you do that 5 times for 10 total shots. That one I only got 5 shots off, but of those 5 shots, I got 4 hits. So this is the point in the match where I realized something was going wrong. So I tried starting out wearing my glasses, and I was having problems on the first stage, and eventually I just raised them up above my head, and I thought, okay, that was just maybe weird the way the sun was coming up. It was still earlier in the morning. And then the next one, each of these stages, we have to start standing up, holding all our gear, and then get laid down in the prone position and acquire targets and engage. So second stage started, I get down, get set up, and started looking through, and I could not, I just had a bad shadow. And eventually I just pulled my glasses off and tossed them. And then I was able to see the targets, and once I did that, I was able to start engaging them, and that's why I got most of the shots that I took, I got hits on, but I wasted over half of the time with not being able to see through my scope and acquire the target. So I definitely have to figure out if I can wear contacts. That's something I'm going to be looking into this next week. I don't know if that will work with my prescription, but glasses and scope and the way my neck is maneuvered, not really working out. So I've got to work on that, get a solution figured out pretty quick, because that is becoming a problem now. Then the next stage is called the chaos stage. So this is the one where we've got a 375, 475, and 575, and you have to hit to move. So you go 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. But in order to move to the next target, you have to make a hit. So I got down and shot 1, boom, hit. Shot 2, boom, hit. Shot 3, miss. I saw the dirt. So I re-engaged, made a slight adjustment, and I saw the bullet splash and break apart on the target, but nobody called impact. So I had already moved to the second target. I was coming back, but still nobody had said impact. So I started saying, hey, did I hit the third one? And there was some confusion between we'll just say there was a lack of communication. By the time somebody finally said yes, the timer went off. So that's like a fast one. So we only have 60 seconds on that one to go through all 7 of those. 7 hits total. You can score 10 if you had any ammo left over. Yeah, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I was set up. I'm kind of disappointed in that one. I feel like I could have scored at least 5, probably closer to 7, because I was moving along pretty good. But with trying to wait for an answer on if I was safe to come back and engage target 2 the second time, all the time ran out on me. So that's definitely something that I've got to learn the proper etiquette on. Like, do I say, hey, I know I hit that, I'm moving on, or I just don't know what to do in that situation where I'm confident that I made the hit, but I didn't get the call that I made the hit. So something new for me to learn about since I have not had that issue before. But it happened, so technically I only got 3 hits on that stage. Then the next one was a know your limits and claim target. So we had a rack at 300 yards, 4 targets, and then a 500 yard claim target. So you start at the biggest on the rack, engage it. When you get a hit, move to the 500 yard target, and you have to get a hit at that before coming back to the rack and going to the next smaller one. That one was a total of 8 shots, and I actually scored 7. So I only had 1 miss on that whole stage, and I'm pretty happy with that overall, actually. And then we moved to the positional stuff. And like I said, I tried to film what I could through here. And then when I got to the positional stages, I set up and hopefully I set this camera up on 3 of the stages. I didn't on the first one. I kind of forgot. Or the first 2 I forgot too. So we ended up having, I think, 5 positional stages. 1, 2. Yeah, so we had 5 positional stages. I didn't set up this camera on the first 2. By the third one, it was something new that I hadn't done before. I wanted to set up to see how it would look. But I'm hoping I got scope cam view for all of them. If I did, obviously I'll be cutting that in and letting you guys take a look at what I was seeing as I was running through the stage. Okay, we're going to change positions and scenery and get over here to talk about one of the positional stages. So first we started out with the barrels, which I showed off in a couple match review videos ago. I set it up just like they have out there. And so this one was funny. It was a total of 8 shots. Same thing, start, get down prone, take 2 shots at the 395, get up on the first barrel, 2 shots at 300, get up on the second barrel, 2 more shots at 300, get back down prone, 2 shots at the 395. So get down, get started, boom. 2 shots at 395, both hits. Get up on the first target, 2 shots at 300, boom, boom, both hits. Get to the upright barrel, and this is where I totally forgot about everything I had practiced before to do better at that stage, and had my bipod down. I couldn't get off on the side without hitting my mag well, or hitting the magazine sitting down. So I had my bipod down on the top of the barrel, and I was trying to balance the rifle, just squatting down and holding it and trying to get on target and aim. And then all of a sudden, I feel the back end of the rifle start moving up and down. I'm like, what is going on? Oh, I got a little rabbit right behind the camera here. That's fun. Anyways, I'm like, what is going on back here? And I realized my butt pad, the set screw, had come loose. And every time I was moving, the whole back end of the rifle was moving up and down because the rubber was sticking to my shoulder, but the rifle was sliding in the grooves on it. So I had to reach up, tighten that back down. I just took 2 shots at that target, totally missed them, and then jumped down. And I had about 15 seconds or so when I got down into prone position and got on target at the 395 and closed bolt and just popped that first one off, ran the bolt, and right as I was breaking the shot, the timer went off like right before I squeezed the trigger. I mean, it less than half a second difference, but the timer started going off before the bang went off. So that last one hit, but it didn't count. So I ended up with 5 out of the maximum 8 on that stage. Then we moved over to a roof top stage, and then we had a roof side stage. So we're going to actually look at this over here and see how that worked out. So you can probably tell this is a little bit darker, but I messed up and did not actually hit record before I went through all of this. So we had two roof stages. One was called a rooftop, where you had to shoot off of the top of the roof, as the name would imply. And I hadn't actually done this in a match, and I thought that getting more of my body on was going to be a better idea. So my idea was I got set up here with the bag, and then got my whole body up on the roof, and tried to get this bag underneath me, and went after each of the targets. We had two rows, a left side and a right side, and you had to hit or miss, just keep on going. So we started at a 250, a 310, a 380, move to the right side, 395, come back to 300, zigzag back up to the left side, 380, and then come back down 310 and 250. So 8 shots, and I was not as stable on some of them as I wished, so I had a few misses, but out of the 8, I scored 5 hits on that stage. So, you know, I could have done a little better, but I was not as stable as I should have been. At this point, I could really feel my heart rate getting up, and I was getting wobbly and shaky as I was going, but more things to learn and improve upon. And then the next stage was called a roof side. In this one, I've got some footage from this camera on, so I'll show you that, but pretty much we had to use the top third of a roof slant and engage at a 4, 5, and 600 yard target, come down to the middle third, do the same 4, 5, 6, go down to the bottom third, 4, 5, 6, and then come back up to the middle. And I believe it was shooting the 10th one at the 500 or the 600, but I didn't make it to that point, so it didn't matter. I ended up getting 7 shots off, and of those 7 shots, I got 4 hits. So I had a little bit of a wind mistake and got a couple misses, and then moved down and corrected that and started getting hits again. But I spent too much time getting set up and stable, so I just ran out of time on the stage, wasn't able to get all these shots in. And on this stage, I did realize something that I had done wrong. So my idea was to have my bipod so the legs were angled and they would stick in, and then I could use my game changer bag and hold it upright and rest the buttstock on it. I thought about after that I could have switched over to my shorter bipod that I used on the tire stages, and with that, the front end, you know, would have been lower. I could have just rested my game changer bag down on its like belly, like long ways, and been able to build up a position a little bit faster, because I wouldn't have had to been fiddling with it in the smaller surface area position of it. But one of those things I just got to learn as I do this more often. One thing I was really proud of myself on is after getting 2 misses in a row, I realized that the wind was behaving a little bit differently from when I had taken my reading. So I adjusted, I think, 2/10 and started getting hits again. So that's one of my greatest accomplishments in this match, is seeing what I did wrong and being able to make a correction for it during the match. Okay, so weird thing, I just realized I didn't record the last section talking about the roof, so I'm gonna have to go back and do that again, but I'm all set up here. So talking about the tires stage, so it was 6 shots at a 500 yard round lollipop target, and we had 3 positions, and you take 2 shots from each. So I did my plan, swapped out my bipod for my lower one, used this bag, the good heavy game changer, and then I was using this bag under my arm for arm support, and I was actually able to get 4 out of the 6 on that one, which was overall my best hit percentage on a tire stage so far. So getting a little better at that, taking my time. Having the timer was actually really handy, because I could keep an eye on it as it counted down, and I was able to see when I needed to speed up, or if I was getting further along in the stage and getting misses from moving too quickly, that I had the time to slow down. So I was mentally able to catch myself and make corrections on the go. Then the last stage we shot was the pyramid. So a little pyramid, and you had to utilize 3 positions: a kneeling, a standing, and then a second kneeling position. And you take 3 shots from each, at a 325 yard rack. And you start, large, medium, small, move to the next position, large, medium, small, move to the third position, large, medium, small. So that one, you could have scored 9 on that one, and I managed to get 5. So I'm pretty pleased with that overall result. There were some stages people were getting 1 to 2 hits and a couple zeros out there. So I was very pleased with my overall performance at this match. So I'm getting better little by little and month by month. Well, as you can probably see, it is after 9 o'clock and it is getting rather dark out here. So we're going to be at the end of this. If you like hearing about how my matches go and all the stuff I do getting ready for it and the cool little gadgets that I get to show off to everybody, I would really appreciate it. Take a look down below. Make sure, get subscribed, follow along. Next week, I've got a couple cool things to show off. I need to show off the MDT timer. It actually is pretty cool and very handy to have during a stage. And I finally got the Savior long range bag that I had been wanting since I built this rifle in June of 23, and it finally became available. I ordered it. It's supposed to be delivered tomorrow, so I got to get that all set up, and I'm pretty pumped about it. I hope it'll fit everything that I expect it to. But if you want to see that really awesome rifle bag, make sure follow along and we'll have that out pretty soon. If you have any suggestions or comments, or just want to let me know that I did a decent job and I'm getting a little better every time we go out, I'd really appreciate it if you would drop me a comment down below. I really do enjoy hearing from everybody, and I thank you very much for your time when you take the time and write out a comment for me. Well, that's going to do it for this review of my final match of the 23-24 season. We'll get right back at it in September, and maybe I'll be able to make it to some other matches at some bigger places pretty soon. I'm thinking I'm about got the confidence built up to give that a try. So if you want to see how that goes, make sure follow along. You know the drill. Thank you very much for spending a little bit of time with me. I really do hope you have a great rest of your day and a wonderful weekend. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.